much for tuning in to another episode of Conversations with Chan. Today, I have with me the founder. When I say founder, y'all gotta understand something about being a founder. You are the first to do something. You're actually taking your idea and bringing it to life. Miss Adrienne Whaley. Did I spell that right?
Whaley, but it's okay.
Whaley, okay. And she is the founder of the Queens Underground Black and Brown Film Festival. I, listen, what inspired you to create this festival?
God, I was that kid that was always interested in everything creative. I used to make pancakes for my dolls and I needed, clothes for my dolls. And my father looked at me and he said, "You better figure it out." I would start making that. And that just progressed into writing plays and producing fashion shows. I did go to the High School of Art and Design, and then when I went to college, I honestly remember being told, "You are a Black woman." And this is because I'm not going to say my age. My son is 31, so we are going back. And they said, two people told me, "It's going to be very difficult for you to find a job in the arts." And they were telling the truth. At that time, it was very difficult. And I did not have that personality, like, "Hey, I'm here, you're going to listen to me." So I ended up majoring in business and came home and I opened up a video store right after my son was born because I love movies. Oh my gosh, I love movies. Still watch movies every day. Then I had to go back to work, full time because my son was young. But it stays with you when you have that creative spirit and that entrepreneurial spirit. No matter how normal, you try to be, you can't. So I went back to school again, and I worked in education. I was a school administrator in special ed. And I found that there were so many teachers and assistant teachers who were creative. Our bulletin boards were gorgeous. So once again, 20 something years later, I am still seeing we don't have a space. We don't have a platform that is all inclusive. So I opened up an art studio in my area and we did okay. And we had different nights of open mic poetry, jazz, dance, movie nights, pop-up shop. Then a friend suggested, "Why don't you do a film festival?" And it clicked. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do it. And she could not help me, but she suggested it. And we did our first film festival in October of 2019. Mind you, I said, we're going to start at 4 p.m. because I knew people were not going to show up on time. Chan, there was a line at the door at 4 and we're still putting up backdrops. People showed up for those 3 days. And that's when we had, okay, look, let me stop here. So during our film festivals, we have movie shorts, music, dance, poetry videos, web series episodes, business commercials, live performances, and the pop-up shop. So everything that I did at the studio, I brought it forward. When I say that place was packed, it was packed. And I realized through the emails and the way people, approached us that this was needed because we're the only platform that is all inclusive of all of the arts, including business. And then we did the last February one in 2020.
See, listen, you'll be surprised at what people want because some people, that's what I say all the time. Like, because I did my first comedy festival here in Northern Virginia, right? I was like, no, I'm gonna come, but I was like, you know what? I can't look at what everybody else is going to do or ask everybody. I had to just do it. And so it was surprising to me, like, it's true that people will come out because that's something they don't really know how to ask for, but they will participate. They will support. They will do that because it's something that they're interested in. So for them to be early, like, you know what? People don't never show up on time.
They sure don't. I said we were still putting things together. And the same thing happened in February 2020. Before COVID, we sold out.
Oh my gosh. So that is the beautiful part of doing something that you love. People can feel that and people are drawn to that. So what was the most What was the most memorable part of your festival?
Okay. Um, and well, in October 2019, the most memorable part was that people showed up 3 days straight. We didn't have anything huge in my neighborhood for Black
Mhm.
History Month in February 2020. So I said, okay, what the heck, let's try it again. And we do red carpet. We had 4 red carpet hostesses. When I say people came dressed in gowns and suits, a lot of community group leaders in my area, because I belong to a lot of community groups, they came out and volunteered. Politicians showed up, HBO Cinemax, and so on and so forth. So we had 3 floors that day. Each floor was packed. We had 15 vendors, and we also had 15 live performances. We ran out of time, but that's another story. The most memorable part was to look down and see my mother sitting in the audience. I know you feel that moment, right? Okay, hold on. because I've been at this for years and years and years and years and years. And that's why I appreciate what you're saying and your energy and your intent, because I could tell that you understand. The struggle is real, and you have to keep going and going and going no matter
Yep.
what it's looking like, because there's lots of failures along the way. There are a lot of them.
I'm gonna tell you, because my father didn't get a chance to see me do the things that I set my mind to. And so when you said your mom was sitting in the audience, to me, I know what that I know. Listen, when I tell you that is a feeling that you can't ever take, you can't describe. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you, oh my gosh, that you can't even put into words because of the fact that it means so much.
It does. And she's 89. So that was, I was like, we're cutting it close here. I want her to see me. I know you really have me crying, child. I want her to see me, do something that big that means, because it's more, for me, it's more about if you can do something you love that helps other people, that other people can feel, then you've hit
Mhm.
on something. And that was that moment.
And I love the fact that, in the grand scheme of things, people will quit a dream because of lack of support. And you did not do that. Like, and I keep trying to tell people, all you have to do is have that spark within yourself. You don't have to have a crowd of people behind you. Just start, and people will line up, and people will be, people will come. They can say, if you build it, they will come. You know what I'm saying? That kind of situation. So for this year, since we are in the midst of the pandemic, I know, I see. It's it's a chore because I know I had to. Last year I canceled my festival. This year I'm thinking about doing a 2-day virtual situation. Because of the fact that I do want to keep the name of my festival going. I
You
want to
have
keep
to.
it. But it was discouraging because it was like I had to cancel my second year, and I'm like, okay, you know what? This just makes me reevaluate and get started on something different. So, how has the pandemic this year changed the dynamic? Has it added new components to it? It,
Well, what we did was October that just passed, October 2020, because you sit there and it's the same thing. This would last year. This is our second year because we have 2 festivals per year. So this is our second year. And I sat there and said, wait a minute, our brand is just getting momentum. We are a nonprofit, so I'm still filling out grants. We're still looking for sponsors. So all the venues, of course, are closed and you want people to be safe. I looked outside my window and I said, hold up. I have a yard. I have a front yard, a driveway, a backyard, and I have a house in the backyard that I use as my working studio. So our driveway was the red carpet with tents and all of our backdrops. We had vendors at the top part of the yard and people were able to eat up front. We put up more tents in the backyard. We built a stage because when I closed the studio, I brought a lot of the stuff home. So
Mhm.
we cut it down. So we just turned the backyard into an outdoor, red carpet event. And we
Right.
had that for 3 days until I blew the light fuse because you can't plug in 2 fireplaces at the same time. Please, audience, know that. Don't do that. But people came, and one night it rained. We had people here, and we kept, socially distant. The politicians still showed up. So this past Saturday, that's why I look tired. This Saturday, we did it virtual from my living room. The whole team came over. We had a pizza party. We went on Zoom and Facebook simultaneously. I'm not saying it turned out perfect, because it did not. That was our first time, but we held it here.
And see, that's the beautiful part of that, because you have the option to do things digitally now and to reach more people. But it just takes a little bit of some finessing.
Oh gosh, yes.
But you did it.
And we'll do April outdoors, because fortunately I had said, because February we're in New York. Last February it was 70 degrees. That is not going to happen again for about another decade, right? So I had said last year, I'm changing Black History Month. The other half of Black History Month, according to me, is now in April. So we had already decided we would do one day in February and the 4 in April. And you know where April is going to be, don't you? I don't even have to tell you. Right in my yard.
Because you know what? The beautiful part of that is you pivoted and you've made it your own. You've taken whatever was going on and you made it work for you. You didn't let it stop you like, I'm just gonna cancel it. No, you was like, okay, cool. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it for my living room, and we're gonna use my there's no canceling here. So
I can't.
You can't. You really can't.
And I'm in New York City. That's called that moment that you die, because you go through. So I feel your spirit too. So I know you know what I'm saying. It takes you so long to hit that right thing. And then you're just going to let it fizz out. So I know God did not bring me this far to fail. I know I'm creative and I have a creative team. So I tell everybody, come over. We're going to sit here and we are going to figure this out. And we did.
And see, but that's a push. People, listen, okay. I know we are going through these uncertain times, but you got to push through and do what's necessary for your dreams and those who are looking, because you'll be surprised at who is looking up to you and what you're doing. So you can't stop what you're doing because it's bigger than you, and especially with this, you brought together politicians, you brought together people from the arts, you brought together so many people, diverse backgrounds, to where they actually were able to submit their works to be seen. But so this is what I'm saying. Like, you didn't let anything stop you. And I'm loving the fact
quit my job. I can't afford to. Could you imagine? It's like you take that dream and you turn in your resignation. I can't pull it back. So I have to sit there and figure out, what to do. But last year we had submissions from 12 countries. This year we have submissions from 15 countries. And most of them are from New York. 15 countries in the world have submitted. I mean, half of South Asia, Belgium, France, the Federal Republic. We have, and when you sit there and see these films, there are Black, brown, and light skin, white, or whatever. People have a story to tell. All of us go through stuff. It's not just one group. Every single one of us is going through something, and depending on where your status, it could be that much better or that much worse. So we are that platform where anyone from anywhere can submit. We want to see your stories. Indie artists take a dream and they get a camera. We've had movies that were shot with cell phones, shot out in the street. And people go, and I get emails, well, I don't have expensive equipment. Is it okay? Yes, because between you and I, their project actually may be better, right? Because they have a passion to tell a story. So that's who we are. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you are. Send it in.
See, that is the thing. That's what I'm saying. Don't let doubt or, thinking that what you have is unworthy stop you from submitting or stop you from showcasing what you've done, because a lot of times that's how we all end up backing ourselves in a corner and we quit.
Yes.
and we don't achieve what we have been given, the gift that we've been given to share, we can't do that. So I love the fact that you told them to send it anyway, because you never know what could have come. You never know what inspiration that you're giving to somebody when you tell them to go ahead and do it. You
Yes.
know, so this is I mean, as far as others submitting for the festival, what has been the best? I can't say that the best because somebody get offended. What has been the most? What has been the film or the poetry or poem that what body of work has stood out the most? Because I don't want to make nobody mad. Listen, she's not.
I know, because everybody knows my name and email. Thank you. It's every year, because we have so many categories, there'll always be one movie short that stands out, a music video, a dance or poetry or a web series episode or a business commercial. Because I majored in business and I'm a serial entrepreneur, I love the business commercials. I think every business should have a commercial and submit to the film festival, especially if you are still open. But this year, a young lady, I think she's from Philadelphia, submitted a music video. And it's simple. It's very simple. But when I tell you it is powerful, oh my goodness. She did her thing. She did her thing.
Let me get my camera together so I can do me a little business commercial, because you not gonna tell me y'all accepted business commercials. Because I have a client. She's an accountant. Even though she's an accountant, she's real, and I'm like, see, put that on film.
But think about it, with the pandemic, talk about pivoting. So I know most of the vendors I know, they are a legal business, but they work from home. Yes. So now that we're all isolated, how do your customers know you're open? A lot of businesses up in New York were shut down. Now they're coming back. You still have to pay that rent. And I don't know if people understand that. Girl, I'm so happy I closed my studio months before the pandemic hit. That back rent, you still owe that. The landlord is not going to go, oh, it's okay. So how do you make up for that revenue? You need people to know that you're open. If you added some new products and new services, or now you're shipping, you need the world to know that. The easiest way, because marketing and advertising is expensive, put a commercial in my film festival. You will be seen in person and virtually.
And see, I like that because of the fact that that's the truth. You will be, you will get seen. And so what's the problem with doing that?
I don't know. Would you help me, please? Because I have a lot of difficulty getting, small businesses to understand that. Because if you rely on foot traffic and there's not much traffic right now, how is anyone going to find you?
I don't even understand why anybody would, you have to have, some kind of way to advertise yourself. This is not just, hey, that's not how this works. You have to show your personality. Like I've learned since the beginning of 2020, I've learned to showcase my personality more, because even though I'm a business consultant and publicist, I started my podcast and my publication because I wanted people to see the person behind the brand and understand that I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur, so that people, you have to appeal to people to make sure they understand that this is what you're doing and you're running a business. So why not you're giving them an option, giving people an option to reach audiences that they would have been able to reach.
Internationally. Now we're talking 12 countries. And may I ask you a favor in front of the camera? May I put this interview into the film festival? Pretty please? Sure.
I don't look like I normally look, but it's okay. Go ahead. You can put me in there.
Because we're having that conversation. So this proves the point. Because we do take talk shows. The first year we had quite a few, talk show episodes. Because this is how people find out.
I like that. So wait a minute. Don't say that you take talk shows, because now I'm about to tell everybody, listen, this is how this is going to go. Because one, you're elevating them to a platform, and this is what I'm going to tell Sharifa. So there's a woman, she's running for California Senate now, right? Her name is Sharifa Harding. She ran for Long Beach City Council. right? But what she did was she does a show every single day, right? Every day she gets on and she brings together like 5 other entrepreneurs who sign up to be on the show. Every
Nice.
but she's on her West Coast time. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's 10 o'clock here, like Eastern. And
Right.
I'm like, that's dedication because I ain't rolling out my bed no 7 o'clock in the morning. But she,
Anymore.
she's doing it 5 days a week.
Wow.
And it's like then she takes it, puts it on YouTube. Then she puts it on different podcast platforms. Then she launched a whole situation where she has podcasts where she lists people's podcasts and advertises for them. I don't know where she finds the time to sleep. I don't even know if she know what sleep is. But see, this is a place, and this is what I'm telling people, gotta be doing it. You be doing it. Connecting people. Like this is what it does. Like this. Your festival, it's like the pinnacle of what people have been working for because, yes,
Yeah, you're like my new spokesperson. This is what I'm talking about. Yes, you should see you. You can't see you. I can see you right now. It's like, that's my commercial right there. Thank you. That's what we need because it's hard to get the word out and to explain to a lot of people. Number one, you should have a commercial, especially on Instagram and Facebook. People are not looking at flyers anymore. We receive 100 million flyers a day. So when I post promo videos, those will get the hits. Those will get noticed. So it's the same concept. Your business commercial will get noticed more than I'm having a sale. Go to my shop. Go see me on Shopify.
And see, this is where I think everyone's forgetting, like the minute someone is speaking about you have to your festival being that it's international and it's virtual, so many people listen. If you want to be known outside of your backyard, this is where you go. As a publicist, I'm going to say, listen, if you want somebody to come knocking on your door to talk to you, start here. This is what strategic communications looks like. This is what it looks like. Because the strategy is to get more views on what you're doing as a business, as an entertainer, as a as a filmmaker. This is how you do it. So go ahead. Okay. So how can they answer, please? Just go ahead and tell the people. How can they answer? How can they submit this? Where can they send this?
No, you were doing such a great job at promoting. I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm fine with this. Our website is queensunderground718.com. We are in Jamaica, Queens, New York, and I'm a brag for a moment. I live in the area where Count Basie, James Brown, Ella Fitzgerald, Fats Waller, Lena Horne, Miles Davis, Coltrane, Al Roker, LL Cool J, Run DMC, Q-Tip, 50 Cent, Ja Rule, and there's a few more, W.E.B. Du Bois. So that's the neighborhood. And once upon a time, I was always surrounded by art, and famous people. I never met any of them. I'm still waiting for LL to come through. So if anyone sees him, please tell him I'm still waiting for him to come to a film festival. But years later, all of our artists in Jamaica, Queens have to go to other boroughs in other states. So because I remember how it used to be, I sat there and said, this does not make any sense. There is so much talent here and in all of New York City. There's so much Black and brown talent, and Queens is the most diverse borough. We have everyone here. Why do we have to pick up and go someplace else? So this is what we need in our own backyard. So people are coming here. So Queens Underground 718.com, and the email address is queensunderground718@gmail. On Instagram, Queens Underground Film Fest. Facebook, Queens Underground Black and Brown Film Festival.
See y'all. If y'all don't get y'all stuff and promote and send it to her, we're going to have some problems. So y'all better go ahead and do this because I'm going to leave it down here in the bottom. And I'm in the bottom of this interview and in the description. So this is what I'm going to say. You all, this is invaluable. and it's priceless information that can help elevate your business and your brand, but also support a festival that's connecting so many different people with and putting their stories out there. So there's no reason for you all to not want to participate, because it's a no-brainer. It's a win-win. As an entrepreneur, for me, it's a win-win for me to do that, because I want my business. I can operate my business from anywhere. I can consult someone's business anywhere. I can be a publicist anywhere. So this is what I'm saying. Like, knowing that your business, even if you're selling widgets, your widgets can be sold anywhere. So this is the thing. Understanding how to elevate and expand your market and expand your brand notoriety and your brand recognition. This is the key to doing it. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that you've put together this, because coming from your arts, and then you go into business, and then you go into arts, this is a labor of love for you, and you can tell because you're so passionate about it. So this is why it's going to be successful. This is why you're going to get the best of the best. And from you being the founder, you're going to uplift and help everyone that you can come in contact with, because you want it to be successful. So there's a no-brainer here. So guys, listen. Y'all need to go to the website, submit your information, follow them, like them, share them with everyone, because this may be the submission or that could be the turning point of your business, because you never know what could come from someone seeing your commercial or seeing your short or seeing your web series in this festival. And you don't have to be from New York to do it. Submit it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, people just like, you could tell people all day, every day, on how to elevate, rebrand, and to get their reach. And everybody's like, oh, I gotta learn TikTok. Oh, I gotta learn this and I gotta learn that. Like, listen, a video showing your personality, showing who you are, showing your business, you talking about your business and what you do, will get you way more. It will legitimize you way more than a 30-second TikTok video of you dancing to somebody else's song. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying with you. Absolutely.
But
because the likes don't always translate into revenue.
No.
So it's nice to have 1.2 million followers, but how, literally how much are they going to follow you? And if you have a product and you're holding your cupcake and you're dancing, again, to someone else's song, that's fine. But how are people going to find you and purchase?
And first of all, why you up there dancing with somebody's cupcake? I don't want no cupcake that somebody been dancing over. I'm no offense to anybody who does that, but I'm just saying, don't be dancing over my food. I need to make my food seriously. Okay, so I'll just
I understand. And speaking of food, we have food vendors here. I really wish you were in New York, because you could come and be a red carpet hostess, because the red carpet is very long. And we have the food vendors here. Like I said, up front was set up, for people to eat. And you didn't have to attend the film festival to buy the food, because they were at the top of at the top of the driveway. So people were able just to stop by, because this way they're able to make money.
Right.
They're in a pandemic. They need to make money.
I think people want to, also connect, even though we've been apart so long, but safely connect. You know what I'm saying? So this is the good part. So, yeah. So I really love that part about, there are people there, but socially distancing, making sure everything is, you're having it outside. So this is the great part. So listen, y'all. And okay, drop your social media handle so I can get this edited and sent over to you.
It is at Queens. Oh, you want me to type it in the chat? I don't have my glasses
No,
on. Okay.
Just say it.
Okay, at Queens Underground Film Fest is on Instagram.
So listen, y'all. Once y'all listening to the podcast and y'all watch the video, please follow. Click on the website, submit your pieces, get your commercial together, submit that, because you never know where you may connect with somebody. Somebody might want to buy the teddy bears that you are sewing, or the pillows, or somebody might want to buy your product or work with you. So this is a great way to start, because I didn't know y'all did all that at the festival. So I'm happy, because You would have never known, and I'm so glad Gail connected us so we could talk.
Me
because
too, Gail. I'm so grateful.
she is the greatest, and I love her so much for that. I haven't met her in person yet, but she is one of those. She's the MVP, but because she's connecting me with things that she knows that I.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I know,
So
it's amazing. And I think for me, the pandemic, other than the sad things that have happened, it's helped me to have the opportunity to step back and try to simplify things and make sure I'm going in the right direction. And then people are reaching out in a different way. Because I don't think I would have met a lot of the people I know now had it not been for the pandemic, because everybody's busy running around. So now your strategies, and how you're going forward are a lot different. So now I'm meeting people that, thank goodness, that I would not have been able to meet other than that. And that would be Gail, and now you. And then you said your brother lives in Brooklyn. So your brother can attend on your behalf, because Brooklyn is right next door.
I'm excited because now I can give him somewhere to go that I know that he didn't know about.
Exactly. This is what I mean. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
and there's so much talent.
He's lived there for so long, and he's lived in New York. Yeah, he's lived there for so long, but he's New York. He's a New Yorker. Like there's no, even though South, he's been there since he was a teenager. So therefore,
wow.
he is New York. So I love the fact that this is. I can tell him about something that's happening in the city that he didn't
know. Exactly. And that helps, because we have, I'm telling you, you asked me, favorites for the film festival. We've had great talent every year, but I'm amazed that this year, the talent, I think my lights are blinking, the talent is even more exceptional. These projects, I don't know how people did it during the pandemic, or if they had projects and they went back and edited those, but they're not playing this year. We have some serious stuff from all around the world. And one thing too, many of our filmmakers, this is their second and third season with us. They come back. That says a lot. They keep coming back.
Oh, wow. Well, that works. I love that. I love the fact that people, it's a repeat thing. So this is a good part. So I will say this, y'all. Listen, as I wrap up, I'm going to tell y'all right now. Follow, submit if you have something, and understand that this is the greatest way for you all to get that reach is to attend or participate or something, because you never know who you might find. You never know. So thank you so much. I appreciate you talking to me today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll definitely be connecting again and talking again after
April. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Right, because it's April 16th, 17th, 24th, and 25th outdoors and virtually.
Yes, and the blessing is y'all look in the background. It's right here, 16, 17, 24, 20. Y'all see it right there. Right there. Y'all see it. Yes. So thank you so much. And we will
thank you.
You're welcome. Alrighty.
Okay. Are we still on air?
Oh no, I'm about to log out.
Oh, okay. So do you know when this one is gonna air?
I'm going to get it edited today, and then I'm going to make sure it's up by Thursday.
Oh, okay, great. And let's stay in touch. Girl, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm serious. You sold it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
Okay, bye.